The 72-hour deadline set by Trinamool Congress for the government to roll back FDI in retail and hike of diesel prices ends today, and the centre is making one last-ditch attempt to reach out to its ever-sulking ally. Now, sources have told Headlines today that the Prime Minister would be speaking to West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee sometime in the day today. The Prime Minister's efforts will be part of the back-channel talks that are already on with the TMC. Sources are telling us that the Prime Minister might partially even give in to one of Mamata's demands, a partial rollback in diesel price hike, or perhaps a rise in the cap of LPG cylinders per year could be offered. It seems unlikely as of now, because what we haven't heard from the government is even one statement that hints to the fact that there could be a rollback. Sources, however, telling us that Mamata is mulling the pulling out of her ministers from the cabinet and offering issue-based support to the UPA if her demands are not met today.
अपने एलाइंस के बारे में किसी तरीके की न टिप्पणी करना चाहते हैं और मीडिया से किसी तरीके का डिबेट करना चाहते हैं. TMC is very respected ally of our government and we never make any comment.
Rashid will be saying the same thing yesterday, saying the same thing today, that we don't want to talk to the media, and of course the TMC is a respected ally and things would be sorted out internally. Javed Ansari is actually telling us the inside story of what is being sorted out and what is not being sorted out. Javed, obviously we haven't seen anybody give a statement publicly. The TMC is also rather quiet. Mamata Banerjee hasn't made a statement after that initial outburst, really. So what is happening behind closed doors, and what is this phone call from the Prime Minister all about?
Look, this will be one last-ditch effort, one last-ditch formal effort on the part of the government to try and dissuade Mamata Banerjee from pulling out her ministers or taking some other drastic action as far as the UPA is concerned. The government wants to do this because it wants to be seen as leaving the door open for negotiations, for compromise, but that compromise certainly does not entail any kind of a reversal of the policy on FDI in retail or in aviation.
So your sources are pretty sure. I mean, what we are picking up from the face of it is the story internally also. The Congress knows that even if Mamata Banerjee decides to pull out her ministers, they have enough of friends really who would come and help it out in a tough spot.
Yes, Congress has done their numbers and they do realize that, you know, Mamata Banerjee pulling out from the government will certainly weaken the government, but it will not bring it down so long as she and Mulayam Singh or she or Mayawati do not tie up and actually withdraw support from the government. But they would try and make their best efforts till the very last moment to try and dissuade Mamata Banerjee. But if push comes to shove and she really does withdraw from the government, they will still be happy with the fact that she has not withdrawn support from the government.
Okay, so very clearly at this point of time the government not having too much to worry about, but yes, pulling out of ministers is definitely not a good sign of the government, because then things become a lot more tenuous. Manoge also joins us from Kolkata for more on this story. Manoge, just take us through exactly how does this whole situation now play out over the next few hours and tomorrow. What is Mamata Banerjee doing today and how is she going to take this issue forward? Obviously, it will be embarrassment as well if she doesn't handle the situation properly, gets something out of the government.
I've been speaking to all the TMC sources since morning. Two of them have confirmed that they were not in favor of the decision of withdrawing as far as the putting in of resignation or putting in of papers of the ministers is concerned, because the West Bengal government is a completely cash-strapped government and they are in desperate need of funds, and if they pull out of the ministries, they would surely be blocking the funds which were definitely rooted for Bengal, and especially if they lose on railways, they will be losing on a lot of projects that have been coming up across the state. And with the panchayat polls impending, it will be very difficult for people to be given jobs in different ministries which they have been given, and politics in Bengal is different from any other part of the country. Here it is mostly based on service, based on how many services you can give to the people and how much you've benefited them through this, through the service and the tertiary sector, and perhaps that's the reason why even Mamata Banerjee will be in two minds in deciding on whether the ministers would be pulling out and whether she will be continuing only on issue-based support.
Okay, so at the end
of... We also spoke to an existing minister and a senior leader in the party who has clarified that they were having differences of opinion on whether to pull out from the party, but none could dare to speak to the leader and explain it to her.